There we go. Ooh. Lily, hi. Yes, it's not Friday, but I worked Friday. Saturday, I was busy with you guys, and then Sunday I did something yesterday, so I had no time to stream, so that's why I'm doing it today. Molly Whoop, hi, how are ya? I need to turn that volume off. Alright, so it's Monday, my dudes. Alright, but I kind of figured out the way around OBS a little bit, how to kind of get it to work a little better for me, so that's why I'm working it. Dylan, hi! Oh, shit, I never responded to your text, man. I meant to do that. I'll do it after the stream, but shit, my apologies. I guess, why don't we get started then? So, hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to Cryptocast, your source for all things cryptid-related, unknown, and paranormal. I'm your host, Parker, and welcome back to another Cryptid Livestream. So, we're going to attempt this again. I'm using OBS yet again, as you can kind of tell. Otherwise, I wouldn't have the... Wait. Yep, there we go. I won't have that up there. And, yeah, that wouldn't be here either. Are they really? Fuck, wait, let me... Excuse me just for a sec. Let me listen to this. I wouldn't have the... Wait. Yeah, there we go. I wouldn't have that up there. And... Yeah, that wouldn't be here either. God damn it. Yeah, it's literally like, I don't know, it's like watching one of those Japanese or old Chinese like dubbed live action shows. It really is out of sync, but as of right now, this is honestly the best I can do. So, let's get started. Alright, so, if you couldn't tell by the title of the video, we're going to be talking about cryptids and urban legends of Mexico. Now, honestly, this is one that I've wanted to do for a little while. It's going to be, I tried it a little bit last week, but I was still getting used to OBS, so that video is now private on my channel because it was absolute horseshit. And then I also did owe you guys a gaming video. However, I found out for some reason OBS can't support my computer while doing games. I need to get a better computer because I do want to do SCP containment breach for you guys at some point. So I need to get a better computer before I can actually do games. So I apologize for that, but we're gonna get it. We're gonna get it. So let's start off with, what do I want to do first? Let me see. Perfect. There we go. I don't want this to cover. Crap, how do I move that? Ah, there we go. Alright. So, I gotta use this hand. So, this right here is the Alizadel. Now, this has been on the internet for a while. I can't track down the artist who drew this wonderful picture, but if you're watching, whoever drew this, or you guys know who drew it, let me know so I can credit them, obviously. But that is the Alizadel right there. And the Alizadel is a really weird one. It's honestly one of my favorites, though, too, because of how odd it is. I remember seeing this on the TV show, The Secret Saturdays, when I was younger. And let me just pull this up really quick. So the name Alizadel, this is found in Aztec culture. The name Alizadel means spiny aquatic thing, and the creature is described as dog-like. Its waterproof fur often clumping up to create spikes, hence its name. Now, as you can kind of tell in the picture right here, it's gonna take a while to get used to, but as you can see in the picture right here, this Alizadel doesn't have spikes. Well, maybe on its elbows a little bit, but that's just about it. The Alizadel has hands capable of manipulation and an additional hand on its tail, as you can see by the picture, but it doesn't look like a normal hand. The Alizadel is feared due to its liking for human flesh, especially nails, eyes, and teeth. And it always likes to go for the crunchy parts of the body. That's why it goes for all that. And it is said to live near or in the water and use the hand on the end of its tail to snatch prey, dragging the person into the depths to drown them. Victims of the Alizadel, Aztec beliefs state, are destined for the paradise of the god. I can't pronounce that name. The Alizadel included within Book 11 of the Florentine Codex, which describes it as very like the Tui, the small Tui dog, small and smooth, shiny. It has small pointed ears just like a dog. It is black like rubber, smooth, slippery, very smooth, long-tailed, and its tail is provided with a hand at the end, just like a human hand. And its hands are like a raccoon's, hands are like a monkey's. It is a water dweller in watery caverns. Now, this is all kind of roughly translated, that's why it's all over the place, but pretty much like the gimmick with the Owlizotl is when it's in the water or something, its hand comes up out of the water. So I'm going to try something here. So you're in the water, you see a hand come out of the water, and it starts to do a baby cry, so it'll be like, or something like that. And then the person will be like, oh shit, there's a drowning baby or drowning child or something. They go in the water, the Owlizotl grabs them, drowns them, rips out its teeth, eyes, nails, and then it eats those. And the Owlizotl, it appeared in this TV show, The Secret Saturdays, but I first found out about it in a book that I have. But the Owlizotl is really cool. I love the Owlizotl. Alright. Remove. Alright. Next up on our list, alright, let's see what we got here. I wanted to talk about we're going to talk about this one. This is kind of a freaky one. Oh shit, that's massive. Let me just shrink that down here, bring it over. So, no, oh my god, I'm still getting used to this. No, there we go. Yes. So, this creature right here is known as La Lechuza. And La Lechuza, it is a, honestly, very, very freaky cryptid, guys. La Lechuza, because Lechuza means owl, so the La Lechuza, well, La Lechuza, she is a witch who can take the form of an owl, and she has owl-like features, and she is known for hunting down young children, and I don't know, she's pretty much like described almost as a Mexican boogeyman. And guys, I'm honestly really fucking upset. My dad's like, Parker, you need to get a haircut. And I'm like, I don't want it, but he's like, okay, well, you're still gonna get one, so I have to get my hair cut tomorrow, and I'm really gonna fucking hate it because I fucking love this hair. I fucking love how it is, and I'm gonna hate to see it go. But he's like, you need to get a haircut. But no, what I really, really, really want, I want my hair dyed black again. So it would be, there we go. Nope, there we go. So it would be like my picture down here. I used to have black hair back in high school. I was like the edgiest motherfucker of all time. But, you know, I just want my black hair back. But it is what it is. So, La Lechuza is a shape. This is like a tongue twister right here. Is a shape-shifting witch, according to stories told by Mexican and Texano people. A lechuza appears to be a bird with a woman's face and hair. In folklore, a lechuza begins as a normal human woman who sells her soul to the devil in order to be given mystical powers and becomes a bruja. And bruja means witch in Mexican. Afterwards, they continue to look like a normal woman during the day, but at night they become lechuza with owl-like bodies and human heads. So kind of similar to the harpies, you know, that you see like in Greek folklore and everything. except these are owl-like. At night, lechuza fly through the air or perch somewhere hidden and look for prey. They make the noise of a human whistle or a crying infant in order to attract attention. If you hear the sound of a lechuza, you are not only in danger of becoming their meal, it is believed to be an omen that someone in your family will die. So sort of like the banshee in Irish folklore, hearing this is honestly a death omen. Lechuza can carry a full-grown man in their talons, so despite them being small in size, these guys can literally carry a full-grown man. If they are especially hungry, a lechuza will swoop down and try to run a car off the road to get to the people inside. And this is honestly really freaky. There have been reports in Mexico of the lechuza swooping down in people's cars and trying to get them off the road just to get the people inside. And there have been numerous reports about that, or stories told about it as well. They also have the power to make your vehicle's battery die. So you're driving down the road and she shows up. She has the power to make your car battery die, so you can't go anywhere, which is really freaky, especially since my car is pretty much like an electric car and battery. There's a fucking mosquito. Lechuza cannot be harmed by guns or most other weapons, so you can't shoot this thing, you can't stab this thing. It's pretty much immune. It's like wearing a fucking a bulletproof vest at all times. Honestly, the only thing that drives lechuza away is salt. You can also try screaming or cussing at it, and honestly, this is just one of the things, cussing at the lechuza, believe it or not, is to scare this thing off. So if you see this owl, you go, yo, what the fuck, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here, hey, fuck you, bitch. It's like, oh shit, I don't like cussing, and it just flies away. It's like I don't know, it's like the teachers when I used to go to Catholic school, you say a swear word, you get your ass down in the principal's office, and no, so she doesn't like cussing. And then this website also lists just a couple lechuza stories. Growing up, I was told by my siblings that La Lechuza was this huge black bird that would visit your home during the night and either sit outside your window or sit on top of the roof making whistling noises until you couldn't take it anymore. Once you went outside, it would peck or scratch you. Story 2. The story my grandmother told me was that lechuzas were witches who changed their bodies into owls so that they could travel around, basically shapeshifters. She told me that if I saw a lechuza, big owl, because lechuza means owl in Mexican, I was not to look into the eye, because if I did, it would snatch my soul at night when I slept. She also said they could be omens of death and misfortune. And that's pretty much it, and that is La Lechuza. So she's a really kind of freaky owl witch found in Mexican folklore, and it's honestly really, really freaky. Lily, yeah, I agree. It is a little bit out of sync, but there's not really much I can do about it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but this is the best I can get it for now. Alright. Let me see who I have next on the list. I'm saving the, honestly, best in my opinion for last, so let me see what I got next. You know, why don't we talk about her? Oh my shit, that's huge. Alright, so, again, I don't know who drew this picture. It was just a picture that I found on Google. Props to the artist who drew this. If you got, again, if you're watching this video, please let me know, and I will give you full credit for that, because I did not make this image. So, obviously, you can probably tell this is the famous La Llorona, and this is there's actually a lot about this one. So in Latin American folklore, she's like a lot of the times, like you hear stories about her from Mexico, which is why I included her in this list. La Llorona, the weeping woman or the cry, is one of the most famous oral legends of the lower states. A woman was abandoned by her husband and was left alone to raise her two sons, whom she instead drowned in a river out of grief and anger, because they reminded her of her husband. As a result of her actions, the woman is condemned to wander for all eternity until she finds the bodies of her children, often causing misfortune to those who are near or hear her. The oral story represents La Llorona as a person, legend, ghost, goddess, metaphor, and a symbol. The legend described in this article is a generic version of the Mexican version of this folktale. The other regional variants of this story exist. The legend said that in a rural village, there lived a young woman named Maria. She came from a poor family, but was known around her village for her beauty. One day, an extremely wealthy nobleman traveled through her village. He stopped in his tracks when he saw Maria. Maria was charmed by him, and he was taken by her beauty. So when he proposed to her, she immediately accepted. Maria's family was thrilled that she was marrying into a wealthy family, but the nobleman's father was extremely disappointed that his son was marrying into poverty. Maria and her new husband built a house in the village to be away from his disapproving father. Eventually, she gave birth to two sons. Her husband was always traveling and began to stop spending time with his family. Excuse me. When he came home, he only paid attention to the sons, and as time passed, Maria could tell that her husband was falling out of love with her because she was getting old. One day, he returned to the village with a younger woman and told his sons farewell, ignoring Maria. Maria, angry and hurt, took her children to a river and drowned them in a blind rage. She realized what she had done and searched for them, but the river had already carried them away. Days later, she was found dead on the riverbank. She had committed the two ultimate sins, murder and suicide. Challenged at the gates of heaven for the whereabouts of her children, she is not permitted to enter the afterlife until she finds them. Stuck between the land of the living and the land of the dead, she spends eternity looking for lost children. She's always heard weeping for her children, earning her the name La Llorona, or the Weeping Woman. It is said that if you hear her crying, you are to run the opposite way. If you hear her cries, they could bring misfortune or even death. Many parents in Latin America use this story to scare their children from staying out too late. La Llorona kidnaps wandering children at night, mistaking them for her own. She begs the heavens for forgiveness and drowns the children she kidnaps. People who claim to have seen her say she appears at night or in the late evening by rivers or lakes, wearing a white or black gown with a veil. Some believe those who hear the wails of La Llorona are marked for death or misfortune, similar to the Gaelic Banshee legend. Among her wails, she is known as crying, "Ay, mis hijos," my son, or "Oh, my sons." She scrapes the bottom of the rivers and lakes searching for her sons. It is said that her wails sound near, she is actually far away, and that if her wails sound far away, she is actually very, very near. So this is honestly a really good one. But yes, so if you hear or see La Llorona, you need to run away. And hey, Yankee, how are you, man? Good to see you out. All right, so we are done with La Llorona. I just got a weird ad on YouTube. It was like, like this thing showed up on my screen. I accidentally pushed like notifications for Google, and I get them all the time, and now I can't reset it. It's like JoJo Academia. It was the weirdest thing. I don't know. But next up, we're going to get a very famous one out of the way and done with. Oh! Holy shit, that's mass. So, if you can't tell already, this is the Chupacabra. And The chupacabra is honestly probably one of the most famous, if not most popular, cryptids of all time. And believe it or not, there is actually a lot to the chupacabra. And this is honestly one of the depictions of the chupacabra. It can either be depicted as a dog or a scaly, lizard-like, alien-looking creature. Is probably what the government's hiding in Area 51. But yeah, don't storm it, guys. It's not a good idea. The chupacabra, literally a goat sucker, is a legendary creature in the folklore parts of the Americas. When its first purported sightings was reported in Puerto Rico. The name comes from the animal's reported habit of attacking and drinking the blood of livestock, including goats. And there's a cuckoo clock. Shit, it's 10 already. It is 10. Physical descriptions of the creature vary. It is purported a heavy creature the size of a small bear with a row of spines reaching from the neck to the base of its tail. Eyewitness sightings have been claimed in Puerto Rico and have since been reported as far north as Maine and as far south as Chile, and even being spotted outside the Americas in countries like Russia and the Philippines. But many of the reports have been disregarded as uncorroborated or lacking evidence. Where was I? Yes. Sightings in northern Mexico and the southern United States have been verified as candids afflicted by mange. According to biologists and wildlife management officials, the chupacabra is an urban legend. So, what you guys are seeing on the screen right here, this was actually in the TV show Monster Quest, believe it or not. And they did DNA, and this was a dog that a farmer shot that was attacking his livestock, and they did DNA testing on it. And believe it or not, this is actually a hybrid creature between a coyote and a wolf. And it also has mange, giving it that look. So it's kind of weird because coyotes and wolves, they really don't get along together. So having them breed together and you get this as the result, it's really freaky, honestly. So this is like one of the things that people believe to be like one of the dog-like chupacabras. And now again, there are like the reptile ones, and in Louisiana there's a chupacabra-like creature called the grunch, and there's a whole story about that. I'll have to do like Cryptids of Louisiana at some point to talk about that one, but it's sort of like the reptile. It's like kind of a mix between the two, actually. And there is even famous dash cam footage of police dash cam footage of a chupacabra as well online. But the chupacabra is like one of the famous ones, so I definitely had it included in this list. If I didn't, I would probably never hear the end of it. Naomi, no, I'm not letting you storm Area 51. I'm not letting you storm 51. Alright, I'm going to add an image. Let's see what else we got on this list. Oh, shoot, where the fuck is it? Okay, let's do this one. Perfect, okay. That's actually like a good size right there. I can get behind. So right here, again, I don't know who drew this, so if you guys know who drew this or the artist drew it, just let me know. You guys get full credit for it. This is the Cadejos, and the Cadejos are honestly, they're different. And believe it or not, in most legends, the black Cadejo is good, and the white Cadejo is bad. Honestly, in this art, it kind of makes it look like Red Eyes Black Dragon versus Blue Eyes White Dragon, but in dog form. So, the Cadejo is a supernatural character from Central American folklore. There is a good white Cadejo and an evil black Cadejo. Well, no, actually, no, I don't know. In some legends, that the black one's actually good and the white one's actually bad. I have heard multiple things about it. So there's different things. I don't know, but so far it just says the white is good and the black is evil. But I've heard the opposite before too. So both are spirits that appear at night to travelers. The white to protect them from harm during their journey, and the black sometimes an incarnation of the devil to kill them. The colors of the Cadejo are sometimes exchanged according to local tradition. In some places, the black Cadejo is seen as the good one and the white Cadejo the evil one. They usually appear in the form of a large, up to the size of a cow. So these things are fucking massive. Like they appear as a large cow-sized shaggy dog with burning red eyes and goat's hooves. And obviously the white one's pretty much the opposite with blue eyes. Although in some areas they have more bull-like characteristics. According to the stories, many have tried to kill the black Cadejo but have failed and perished. It is also said that if a Cadejo is killed, it will smell terrible for several days and that its body will disappear. Some Guatemalan and Salvadoran folklore also tells of Cadejo that guards drunks against anyone who tries to rob or hurt them. When the Cadejo is near, it is said to mostly bring about a strong goat-like smell. So, if you live on a farm or been in the proximity of goats, just imagine that smell like super close to you. Most people say never turn your back to the creature because otherwise you will go crazy. Speaking to the Cadejo will also induce insanity. But if it's a cute dog, I'm just gonna be like, I'd be the one going crazy. I'd be like, "Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy, Cadejo?" And then I'd eventually go crazy. I mean, I'm already kind of crazy, but that's a story for another day. In popular etymology, the name Cadejo is thought to have derived from the Spanish word cadena, meaning chain. The Cadejo is at times represented as dragging a chain behind him. There is a fairly large member of the weasel family, the Tyra, which is common speech, is called a Cadejo and is cited as a possible source of its legend. In Guatemala and El Salvador, the dog-like creature is known as El Cadejo. It is said to look like a dog, but is not a dog, has deer-like hooves, and moves like a deer rather than a dog. The white Cadejos are known to be benevolent and eat bell-like flowers that only grow on volcanoes. The white Cadejo protects people, including drunks, vagabonds, and people with grudges from an evil foot. Steps with Las Sigbana and bad choices, which sometimes caused by the evil Black Cadejo. The Black Cadejo is malevolent and lures people to make bad choices. The Black Cadejo has glowing red eyes and eats... I heard something, I don't know. And eats newborn puppies. Oh my god. Sometimes the Black Cadejo is said to be the devil himself. The Black Cadejo is said to be able to stand on 2 feet like a man and swiftly throw punches on its victims. Oh my god. I can just imagine like a dog just going, I don't know. Letting them know that they are no ordinary dog. The novel, well, obviously, if the dog stands on its 2 legs and starts throwing punches, it's definitely not an ordinary dog. The novel Los Perros Magicos of Volcans, Magic Dogs of the Volcanoes by Manilo Argueda describes the Cadejos as a mythical dog-like creatures that figure prominently in the folklore of El Salvador. They mysteriously appear at night and lovingly protect the villagers who live on the slopes of the volcanoes from danger. In Guatemala and El Salvador, the legend of El Cadejo revolves around La Sigbona and El Sapito legends. So, again, guys, I've heard like the opposite before. I've heard the white one's bad and the black one's good, and then this Wikipedia saying the white one's good and the black one's bad. So, I don't know. I'm just saying that I've heard the opposite before, but we'll go with the wiki. But that's pretty much the Cadejos, and honestly, those are really freaking cool. Hey, B, how are you? Oh my god, there's 2 people who I think could have made the Ghost of Notre Dame. Oh god. There's like 2 people I know who could have made that, because I literally talked to one of them today, and the other one just knows about it and thinks it's funny as shit that happened, like, after I sang that song, but I don't know who that is, but oh my god. Alright. let's see what I want to do now. Okay, this is one that not a lot of people have heard of before, and it's a very, very scary legend. Oh my fuck, that's huge. Okay, so again, I don't know who made this, so if you guys know who drew it, or again, just let me know. I'll give them credit for it. But this is honestly fucking scary. Alright? This one genuinely fucking freaks me the shit out. Why did I say freaks me the shit out? Freaks me the fuck out. This right here is El Cibon, or the Whistler. El Cibon is a legendary figure in Colombia and Venezuela, associated especially with Los Llanos, described as a lost soul. The legend arose sometime in the middle of the 19th century. According to the legend, the spirit is a youth who murdered and disemboweled his father for killing his wife, saying that she was a slut, and she was asking for it. Afterwards, his grandfather ordered the youth to be tied to a post in the middle of the countryside and lashed him until his back was destroyed. His wounds were then cleaned with alcohol, and he was released with 2 rabid, starving dogs set upon him. Before releasing him, his grandfather condemned him to carry the bones of his father for all eternity. And that's that sack you see really well drawn on his back. It has a characteristic whistle that resembles the music notes C, D, E, F, G, A, B in that order, rising in tone to F, then lowering it to B. It is said that when whistling sounds close, there's no danger and the whistler is far away. But when the whistling sounds distant, it means it is nearby. It is also said that hearing the whistle foretells your own death, and you can hear it anywhere at any time in the situation. The only thing that can save you is the sound of a dog barking, as is the only thing is afraid of. A chili or a whip, the spirit tends to take revenge on womanizers, so people who pretty much just like mess around with women and stuff. And so if you have a dog bark or a chili or a whip, he's scared off by that. And now here is the legend of El Cibon. Many inhabitants of Los Llanos say that they have seen it primarily in the summer, a time when the Venezuelan savanna burns in the harsh drought. The whistler sits in the trees, gathers dust in his hands, but is mainly on rainy or humid days the spirit wanders, hungry for death and eager to punish drunkards, womanizers, or sometimes innocent victims. It is said that it sucks the alcohol out of drunkards through their navel when it finds them alone, and that it tears womanizers into pieces, removes their bones, and puts them in the sack where he keeps the remains of his father. Some versions say that it appears as a giant about 6 meters that moves about the treetops, creaking. And emitting its chilling whistle. Inside its old tattered sack lie the bones of its father. According to some renditions, its multiple victims. Other versions say he appears as the shadow of a tall, thin man with a hat and goes after drunkards most of all. They say that the whistler can appear by a house on certain nights, drop his sack on the ground, and count the bones one by one. If anyone hears it, nothing will happen, but if no one hears it before dawn, one member of the family will never wake up again. And honestly... Oh, see you, Lily. Thank you for coming out. But no, the thing that is honestly terrifying about El Cibon, there's this guy, he has this video on YouTube. He was pretty much haunted and terrorized by El Cibon for like out his life. And like he moved out of the state that he was in, and then he moved to another one. And I know his mom was really freaked out by this. Like, I don't know the guy personally, but that's what it says and everything in the story. And El Cibon, like, he was like years later, he went to like a fireworks display with his girlfriend on the Missouri River, the Missouri River is right by my house, so that's freaky as shit. And And he was like out on the fireworks display, and he heard the same whistle that he heard years ago, and saw this mysterious man like paddling down the river in a boat, and that was the guy that was whistling. And was it El Sabone? We don't know. Was it just a coincidence? We don't know. Was it just a random person? We don't know. But still, that is freaky as all fuck. So let me get that off the screen. Let's see what else we got on the list. Because, that's scary as hell, man. I'm actually kind of getting goosebumps thinking about it. I want to do... Hey, actually... We're making great time, actually. We have about, like, 6 left. Alright, let's do it. Let's see how big this is. Oh, that's not bad. I'll set this here. So this is like in some Aztec ruins, but as you can see, these little elf-like people right here, these are called the Aluks. And be honest, this is one I've never heard about till today. I typed in Alex and I got this thing called Alex.com, luxury experiences and fine living, and I got those like douche tubers like Logan Paul and I don't know, that one guy who does the makeup that there was a big controversy about. But no, those aren't the guys we're going to talk about. Actually, no. An Alux is the name given to a type of sprite or spirit in the mythological tradition of certain Mayan people. So I was wrong, it's Mayan, not Aztec. From the Yucatan Peninsula in Guatemala. Also called Cheneque or Chunky by the Nautical people. Aluxob are conceived as being small, only about knee high, and appear in resemblance to miniature traditionally dressed Maya people. Tradition holds that the Alux are generally invisible, but are able to assume physical form for purposes of communicating with and frightening humans, as well as to congregate. They are generally associated with natural features such as forests, caves, stones, and fields, but can also be enticed to move somewhere through offerings. Their description and mythological role are somewhat reminiscent of other sprite-like mythical entities in a number of cultural traditions, such as the Celtic leprechaun, as the tricks they play are similar. Some might believe that the Alux are called into being when a farmer builds a little house on his property, most often in a maize field, which maize is corn for those of you guys who are unfamiliar, for 7 years. The Alux will help the corn grow, summon rain, and patrol the fields at night, whistling to scare off predators or crop thieves. At the end of the 7 years, the farmer must close the windows and doors to the little house, sealing the Alux inside. If this is not done, the Alux will run wild and start playing tricks on people. Some contemporary Maya even consider the single and double-story shrines that dot the countryside to be Quetzal Alux, houses of the Alux, although their true origins and purposes are unknown. Stories say that they will occasionally stop by and ask farmers or travelers for an offering. If they refuse, the Aluxes will often wreak havoc and spread illness. However, if their conditions are met, the Alux will protect the person from thieves and even bring them good luck. They are treated with respect and can be very helpful. It is believed that it's not good to name them aloud, as it will summon a disgruntled Alux from its home. And that is the Alux. So they're pretty much like little. Yes, James Charles. Thank you, Naomi. I couldn't think of his name for a minute. So the Alux are actually like really helpful little guys. If you're nice to them. Which honestly, guys, that's a golden rule. Treat everybody the way you want to be treated, so don't be a dick to people. Now let's actually move on to our other elf-like creature. Oh, that's perfect. Well, here, let me see. What was it called? Perfect. So here we go. So this cute little guy right here is called the Chanek. Chanek, as they were called by the Aztecs, are legendary creatures in Mexican folklore. I need to fix this camera there so that way I'm more focused. There we go. That's actually better. Hey, how's it going, guys? Are legendary creatures in Mexican folklore. They are conceived as small sprite-like beings, elemental forces of nature, and guardians of nature. By tradition, these beings would attack intruders, frightening them so that their soul would abandon their body. Which the Chaneks enclosed in the depth of the land. If the victim did not recover their soul through a specific ritual, he or she would become ill and die soon after. Well, I mean, I guess so. You don't have a soul. You can't live without that. In some contemporary legends, Chaneks are described as children with the face of old men or women that make people go stray during these 3 or 7 days. I almost read that makes people go gay instead of stray, but it says stray. After which the victims cannot recall anything that happened, although it is thought that they are taken under the Chaneks to their home in the underworld, of which the entrance is a dry kapuk tree. In Catholic beliefs, the Chanek are the souls of children who died without Christian baptism, and may be from pre-colonial times. They are a sort of violent child demon who prey on people who wander the forests or jungles of Mexico. They confuse people to make them lost and prey on them at night, eating them. To get rid of them, you have to turn your shirt inside out or yell Juan 3 times to break their spell? Why Juan? Out of all the names, why that? Similar mythical beings are common in Mesoamerica or other Latin American folklore traditions, generally referred in Spanish as duende. In folklore tradition of the Yucatan Peninsula, these elementals are known as Alux in the Yucatan Maya. So that's what we just talked about. And remove. And alright, so you got about 4 more left on here. Honestly, the stream's actually going alright so far. I'm happy with it. I really am. Let's talk about the Hue Chivo. Okay, so again, guys, I don't know who drew this picture, so if you guys know, or if the artist is watching, just please let me know, so I can give you proper credit. But no, I love having the pictures actually on screen and everything, and the title up above me, and my little Cryptocast logo. There we go. Everything's opposite, and the little... So yeah, the little Cryptocast logo in the corner right here. I love having that. So this is honestly great. But no, the Hue Chivo is very, very odd. Oh, crap, I just opened Snapchat. That's not what I wanted. The Hue Chivo is a legendary Mayan beast. It is half man, half beast creature with burning red eyes and specific to the Yucatan Peninsula. It is often said to be an evil sorcerer who can transform himself into a supernatural animal, usually a goat, dog, or deer, in order to prey upon livestock. And as you can tell in the picture, this one's portrayed as as a goat. I almost said a deer, but he's portrayed as a goat. And I guess that's kind of similar to the goat man found in America. In recent times, it has become associated with the chupacabras. The Hue Chivo is specific to the southeastern Mexican states of Yucatan, Campeche, and Quintana Roo. Alleged Hue Chivo activity is sporadically reported in the regional press. Local Maya near the town of Valladolid in Yucatan believe the Hue Chivo is an evil sorcerer that is capable of transforming into a goat to do mischief and eat livestock. The name Hue Chivo combines Spanish and Yucatan Mayan terms. Hue or Yue coming from Hue in Yucatan Maya, meaning sorcerer, spirit, or animal familiar, while Chivo is Spanish for goat, literally meaning sorcerer goat. It is known as the Chivo Brujo, an entirely Spanish phrase meaning the same thing. So, yep, that's the Hue Chivo. And not many people know about this one, and I actually do think it's pretty cool, so very nice to kind of talk about that one. Alright, now we got I believe 3 more? I want to say 3 more? Jesus Christ, I did not get a lot of sleep last night. It's killing me today. Oh my Christ. Oh my crap, man. Oh, what the shit. Oh, I don't know where that went. I gotta add another one. Alright. No, still big. There we go. Oh my god, that was huge. Now it's like honestly a more reasonable size. I forgot the name of this thing. What was this thing's name? What was this thing's name? There it is. I found it. So, what we have right here is called the Coatlicas, and it's the Mexican Bigfoot. Sometime in the summer of 2011, somewhere in the old-growth pine forest of the Mexican state of Puebla, in the state of Puebla, Hector Lopez and two of his friends were cutting timber illegally in a protected area far away from any human settlement and just off an old forest road. When they arrived at their destination for wood cutting, they heard animal noises in a nearby thicket of small trees. The grunts and growls were not from any animal the men were familiar with. They paid little attention to the animal sounds as they revved up their chainsaws and went to the task of cutting timber. After felling a dozen or so trees, Lopez and his friends still heard strange animal noises, but closer and in greater intensity. As it was getting darker, the trio lit a bonfire and settled down to rest. Their plan was to load up their truck and leave the forest for the city at first light. After they built the bonfire, the woodcutters noticed a rustling in the trees. Did I hear some rustling? Nearby, with animal noises that they had heard earlier, even closer than before. Without giving them much time to react, from out of the trees emerged a giant 9-foot-tall creature standing upright like a human and covered from head to toe in thick, dark, tangled fur. The back of my head has been hurting, like so is my back. I think I slept on it weird. The creature grabbed one of the felled trunks and headed for the truck. One of the three men tried shooting at it, but it just kept coming. They ran down the old forest road to get away. The three men soon happened on some forest rangers, and Lopez related their story of their encounter. The rangers did not believe the tale and asked the men to take them to the site of their clandestine lumber operation. While they found no trace of the hairy beast, they found the truck totally destroyed. One of the rangers had said that what they had witnessed was the work of the Coatlicas, a Bigfoot-like creature that has lived in the high forests of central Mexico since time immemorial. Hector Lopez told his story to Carlos Eva Cervantes, a reporter from the Mexican online news source SIPSE.com, and appeared in the article dated November 2nd, 2016. So, Coatlicas is pretty much the Mexican Bigfoot who doesn't like you doing illegal things. So, the Coatlicas says, don't do drugs, kids, or he's going to come to your house and, I don't know, do something. So, don't do anything bad, guys, or he's coming. He's like Santa Claus. He sees you when you're sleeping. He knows when you're awake. So just be good, guys. Just be good. Oh, there you go. That's perfect. So what we have right here, this cute little friend right here, this is actually Des from my group chat. This is his true form. No, actually, no. This is the man bat of northern Mexico. It's not to be confused with the DC. I don't know what he is actually. Is he an anti-hero? I don't really follow DC that much. I follow more Marvel than DC, but. Yep, this is the man bat of northern Mexico. It was a chilly morning a few hours after midnight on Friday, January 16th, 2004. The young 20-something police officer, Leonardo Samanigo Gallegos, was patrolling the neighborhood of Valles de la Silla in the municipality of Guadalupe on eastern suburb of Monterrey. Officer Samanigo was driving his patrol car down Aldama Street when he saw something big and black fall from a tree. The black figure did not touch the ground, but seemed to hover over it. Samanigo turned to the patrol car's high beams, and before him, out of the distance, stood a humanoid with big black eyes, brownish skin, and what appeared to be black clothing or fur. According to the officer's report, upon having the car's lights shine upon it, the creature covered its eyes and became angry and then lunged at the car. It grabbed the patrol car and shook it violently. In a panic, Samanigo spun his car in circles to try to shake off whatever might have gotten a hold of his car. He grabbed the police radio and desperately called for reinforcements. The creature started to smash his windshield, at which point the young policeman shifted his car into reverse and gunned the engine, lost control of the vehicle and crashed it, and was knocked unconscious. When he came to, revived by paramedics, the creature had been long gone. Samanigo was rushed to University Hospital, and in addition to being treated for his physical wounds, he was subjected to psychological and toxicological tests to determine whether he was under the influence when he had his supposed encounter. All these tests came up negative. The police department was left with a mangled car and the strange testimony of a very, very trusted officer. So, this is a really weird creature, and it's just this, like, giant Batman creature. I'm Batman. Alright, so. Alright, guys, this one is spooky. Are you guys ready for spooky shit? Are you guys actually ready for this? Because this literally gives me fucking chills. Like, every time. I almost did not want to include this one because it freaks me out so much, and I'm in my basement, pretty much away from anyone else in the house right now. So let's talk about this one. Let's talk about this one, though. I'll do it for you guys. I'm actually genuinely freaked out to talk about this one. So before I get the pictures up, let me... Ooh, this is freaking me out, honestly. So, you guys know how I'm kind of freaked out by dolls and everything, so this is honestly going to be really hard to do, but I'm going to do it for you guys. Okay, that's a small picture. We can do it. Okay, so this is a very, very strange one, but it's a really, really good story. So this right here, oh god, I don't know why. This is just honestly freaky. Ooh, alright. All right, so this is called La Pascualita, and she's believed to be a corpse of the bridal shop's owner who died many, many years ago, like the original bridal shop owner, and I believe that she's been preserved, and this is her. She's not just a mannequin. People believe that this is actually, or was once, a real woman. Behind the glass window of a little bridal shop in Chihuahua, Mexico, stands an eerily lifelike mannequin that stops shoppers in their tracks. La Pascualita, as she has come to be known, is rumored to be the mummified daughter of the store's former owner, Pascuala Esperanza. A quick glance at the figure, it's easy to see why. La Pascualita's ashen skin calls to mind the pallid tone of a dearly departed relative at rest in a coffin. Her bright, glassy eyes peer out from the window as you pass by at night, following your every footstep, practically urging you to return. After standing in the store for over 80 years, La Pascualita has made many a friend and foe in the town of Chihuahua. Brides-to-be have felt the mannequin gazing upon them as they search through the rows of gowns. Passerby report seeing that the ghostly bride shift positions at night. Okay, I am getting actually really kind of freaked out talking about that one, because I don't know why, it's like, I don't know if this was once a real person or if it's just a mannequin, but just uncanny valley things, man. That really freaks me out. And so dolls, in particular, especially haunted ones, mannequins are depends how lifelike they look, and this looks very, very lifelike. If that's the case, like here, let me get a close up of her hand, and I'll let you guys be the judge. This is her hand, and as you can see, it has like the little lines and everything. You can see where the veins were. And it's just super, super lifelike, super duper uncanny. Like, look at that. If you look really closely, that's scary. And then there she is up close. She looks, honestly, like she was once a real person. Now, I watched Ask a Mortician's video on her, and she claims that, and she's like, no, La Pascualita was never, ever a real person. Like, well, that this mannequin right here that you see wasn't a real person, but she's just a mannequin. So, take this of what you will. Personally, regardless, it freaks me out. So, that is La Pascualita. And with that being said, guys, that is actually our very last thing that we are going to be talking about for Mexican cryptids and urban legends for this video. I know a lot of them are more cryptids than urban legends, but I hope you guys enjoyed. So, if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button. You can dislike it if you dislike it. But actually, guys, I did hear that if you dislike this video, let me see, where are you? There you are. Actually, no, I don't want to do that one again. No. That thing was huge. I'm not putting that Bigfoot on here again. But yeah, I heard if you dislike this video, this man bat here, he's gonna come at night and he's gonna peek in your window and pretty much force you to like this video. So if you don't want this guy peeking in your window at night, you gotta like this video, guys. It's the only way to ward off the man bat. Also, guys, if you're new, consider subscribing to the channel, become a member of the Crypto Crew today. I need to do another cryptid ratings video here soon. I need to film another one of those, and there will be a live stream this Friday. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I was with my grandma all day, and I helped her clean out her storage unit. There's still a lot in there, don't get me wrong, but I actually found something really cool. I found a Brothers Grimm fairy tale book, and it's like the original, like, true stories of Cinderella, Snow White, all that really cool stuff. So I may have to read that on the channel one day. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to be doing for a stream later this week. I take suggestions and everything, guys, so please give me just a random suggestion. I've been actually wanting to do creatures from the Bible for a while, so I might be doing that. Actually, I don't know. because unicorns were mentioned in the Bible. We got the Leviathan, we got the different angels and everything, and the behemoth, and I feel like that would be kind of a fun stream to talk about and do. So I might be doing creatures of the Bible, unless, I don't know, I might have to get I need to try getting in contact with somebody for maybe if they want to do the guest starring thing, but I don't know. So with that being said, guys, I hope you had a great time watching this video, and I will see you all in the next stream. So, hey, Yankee! Oh, that's right, yeah. We need to do our stream soon, too. So, I might say Bible creatures for next week, and I might do, unless you, yeah, you could probably help out with that. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it, because I know you want to do that other stream too at some point, but if you want to help out with the Bible creatures, you can help out with that as well. We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I will see you guys on, yeah, I don't work Friday, so Friday night. I'll see you guys Friday night. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching Cryptocast. I've been your host, Parker. Stay spooky. I'll see you guys next time.